Welcome everyone to Dance House Dance Podcast. I'm your host, Will Morales. And for those of you who are tuning in for the first time, this podcast is about all things house music. And today, my guest is DJ Gungie. DJ Gungie, how are you, my brother?
I'm great. How's everything?
It's good. It's good. So, guys, I heard DJ Gungie about a year ago in Central Park here in New York City. And then about a week or two ago, I saw you again and by the band shell. Anybody in New York knows that's in Central Park. And I went up to him and he was nice enough to do this interview, but also he was playing some nice bangers. So anyway, DJ Gungie, tell us a little about yourself. How did you start in the business? What was your journey like?
Oh,
And then we go into your inspirations and things like that.
oh, wow. How I started was I did this one very young. I've been DJing since a very long time, since Good Time Chic came out. Once that record came out, I mean, I've been DJing for a very long time, doing a lot of different genres of music and stuff like that. Mainly hip hop when it started. I was there when it all started. I got a lot of friends in the music business, in the music industry, that I've known from young that's become really big. But I've been DJing for since the 70s. Yeah. And I stopped for some time, I stopped a little bit, but then my cousin, he's the one that got me going to the park, and then started me with that genre of music.
Of house music. Okay.
I've always been into that genre, into the house genre of music. When you go to the clubs back in the days, that's what they played. They didn't play hip hop. It wasn't hip hop. It was disco house. So that I was always in tune with that. But I've never really played it. I played it here and there, but not much. But then now recently, like I really got in tune with it. He opened me up into this, and then it just like it opened up a whole new world for me. Like I not new, but
a different set of new people that like your music.
New people do, yeah. It's a lot, and then the music that like the genre of music is like really opening me up, like really the different types of music, how I'm getting the music, what I'm listening to, what I want to play, different feels of the music. I mean, as a DJ, you got to know how to move the crowd. You got to play what the crowd wants, because it's not about you. I mean, I personally want to hear what I want to hear, but that's not how the business goes. The business goes all about about entertaining the people and having the people come out and have a good time, because that's what they're planning to do. When they come out to enjoy themselves, they want a good time. And us as DJs it's like a little nerve-wracking it can be, because like you gotta get the feel of the crowd. Sometimes there's nights that you just don't feel it. You just don't feel the crowd. I've had promoters come up to me like, yo, what's going on? I'm like, yo, listen, I'm just not feeling the night tonight. I'm gonna play and stuff like that. I play, but I'm gonna play my basics, that it gets me through the night. Sometimes you just don't feel the night. I mean, for what? And you keep trying and it don't happen. It doesn't happen,
Yeah. It's funny because I remember when I tried to DJ, I knew the records that I wanted to play.
Right.
But it was at the time when I think it was like the maybe mid 80s, early 90s. The problem was I didn't have the dollars at that time to get the records. And people don't know that it could cost you,
Right.
Now you can get singles that might be cheaper. Like for instance, a friend of mine told me about Track Source, and I see songs get for $1.49 to $1.99, depending on the song.
Right.
So you could build your portfolio that way of music. Back in the day, you had to buy the whole
album, exactly.
And that was what, $8-9 back in those days. I forgot what was the price.
That's right. It depends.
Yeah, it depends, right?
Where you go also depends where you go. I used to go to the underground over on 40 something street down in the underground. I mean, it depends, right? So it was always out. There was always, there's a lot of places in the Bronx. I mean, and you find records all over, because you get a lot of people that they hoard their little records in the house. They have it there for a little while, and you're going through them. You're like, hey, you're going to do something? Wait, what's going on with this? You know, they
Right.
really don't know what they have. You know, but yeah, you find the music, you get it, You know, you
Yeah.
find it, and that's us as DJs. We're constantly looking for new music, looking
Oh
for new.
yeah, I could imagine because after a while you play the same playlist, you're gonna be like, people are gonna like, oh, I know what he's gonna play.
Yeah,
So I can
exactly.
see,
Because
I can
repetition.
see the pressure that you guys go under because
Yeah.
you gotta always update your music. So who are your inspirations growing up? Like who you looked up to?
Who I looked up
Let's
to as a DJ
as a
or
DJ.
artist.
Yeah, as a
As a
DJ.
D, as a DJ, there was this guy that I looked up to. His name is Raul.
Okay.
They call him King Rebel. That was way back. Gotham's West days. I don't know if you
Oh,
remember that.
I heard of Gotham West. Yeah.
Gotham's West. Well, the DJ there, his name is Raul, and they called him King Rebel. I looked up to him because he had some crazy crazy, blends and mixes and stuff like that. Yeah, so I've been to wow, way back. I can go back.
Yeah.
Gotham's West, around the corner was ones, a whole bunch of things. I mean, I've been to a whole bunch of places, Hot Throbs.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Little Louie Vega was one of them also. Used to inspire me. And then Larry Levan also at the garage and stuff like that. So that's especially with that. And then go to Roseland and stuff like that. It's a lot of music that we went through, that I've been through, that I hear now, and I'm like, wow, where like it brings me back to them days.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
funny that you say since I started this podcast a few weeks ago and a couple of people I interviewed, they always say the same thing. Larry Levan and maybe Louie Vega. It seems like those are two standards, Larry Levan
yes,
back in the 80s and now Louie Vega in the 2000s and all that.
yes.
Um so
I
for
mean, but he
you,
was before. It was before the 2000s.
you
He
talking
was
about Louie
also in the
Vega?
80s. He was also in
Okay.
the 80s. He
Yeah.
was also in the 80s. I mean, the Hot Throbs and stuff like that, and back in the the Fun House, and he was there. He was there.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I
Wow.
mean,
Yeah, see, I didn't even know that. I started hearing Louis
yes,
more in
yes.
the 2000s once I started turning in my late 30s, early 40s. And then
Right,
I
right,
started hearing it might have been even the 90s, but I definitely know in the 2000s I started hearing more
right,
about
right,
him.
right.
So
Yeah,
for
now
you,
you
DJ,
noticed him. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, definitely. So for you, DJ Gungie, one of the things I always ask, right? You play to the crowd, you see how the crowd is and all that. Do you set your playlist like if you know you're going to be at a gig, or if you know, like let's say the park, right, where
right,
I met you about a week or two ago?
right.
Do you go with you just play what you want to hear, or do you see like if the crowd is moving to a
When when
certain
when
beat? Yeah, go
when there's an
ahead.
event like that, I play what I feel.
Okay.
What I feel. I play what I feel. When it's a private event, that's a different story, because
Okay.
then they're giving you playlists. They want certain things done. You got a certain agenda to do for that. For that private party. When you're and also it happens. So also it happens with clubs. Sometimes they have shows, and then you got people opening for other people and stuff like that. So it depends. It varies. But when I play like in the park, I play freely. I play for me.
Okay.
Like in a way, I play for me, because like I feel the crowd, and I play what's there. Like I come up, like I go into my crate, and then I'll just start searching and
Right.
searching, and all right, this will do it, and there's some of them that just like I don't feel it, but when I play it, the crowd reacts. You get a good reaction. You're like, oh
Yeah.
man, I should have played this earlier, or I should have played it. I saved it. I should have saved this for later.
Yeah.
Like it varies. It varies. But when I play for the crowd, like out there in the park, I play for. In a way, DJs are not supposed to do that.
Right.
You're supposed to play for the crowd. But
Right.
there, you can play for. I could say I could play for me and for the crowd.
Right. Right. Right.
I'm enjoying what I'm playing. I'm enjoying the reaction I'm getting. It's nice. I mean, the park has been pretty good. I like I
Yeah.
can play freely there. I don't have to. We're not tied down to certain things, like I said, private parties and stuff.
So
Yeah.
talk about that more about your first gig. Do you remember like your first gig when you started? And
Wow.
I thought your
Wow.
house gig, your first house music gig. Do you
My
remember?
first house gig. Um. Wow. I mean, I did a lot of parties. I did jams back in the days.
Yeah.
You know, I did a lot of jams back in the days over on 104th Street and Madison Avenue, Madison and Park.
Yes, I know that area. Yes, yes,
Black
yes.
Park is called Black Park. I grew up, I was
Yes.
born and raised there. I did jams there and stuff like that. Actually, you know, like, and you know, I did jams over in Katona Park. I did jams on the west side. We've did, you know, Booker T. Washington jams and that school, the high school there, Brandeis. We did back then also. I did over there also. And then we did the festivals because now the festivals are not like they used to be. We used to have the Amsterdam Festival, the Columbus Festival, you know, and then downtown, you know, you have a whole bunch of festivals. We used to get gigs and play music there.
Yeah.
Man, you know, my first gig, wow. My first club I did in Connecticut. It was called O2s. It was a
O2s?
crowd, yeah, O2s. First it was called Club Freeze, and then they turned it to O2. I did a college crowd. I did the WestCon College there. I did that for them there. That was crazy. I mean, playing for college kids, playing for them, you know.
And it was house music. It was, or
it was a mix, you know. Like
okay.
a mix, you know, because you know, like I said, you got to play for what the crowd is. You got to play, you know, for who it is. You got college kids, so you got to, you know, think. House music to me is more grown up.
Yeah, but you know that you say that, and which I agree 100%. Definitely more grown up, late 30s, 40s, 50s, and up. Yeah. I started seeing a lot more young people getting into it. Maybe between 25 to 35, I started seeing a little bit more of that, the younger crowd. So for you, first of all, I want to thank you so much, DJ Gungie, for being on Dancehousedance podcast. I really appreciate it. So for you, right, when you schedule, first of all, before I forget, how did you meet Carlos?
I met
Carlos, as we call him, Crazy Carlos.
I met Carlos through my cousin, Twitch. I don't know if you know Twitch.
I know the name. I've heard the name. Yeah.
Yeah, and I met him through him.
Okay.
I used to go and I used to, you know, my cousin like, yo, come to the park, you know, come to the park. They play music and this and that. And he knows that I'm into the music and I'm a DJ. So he was like, yo, come to the park, man. Come to the park. So I used to go to the park, and then I met Nick, you know, from Nick at Night. I met him.
Night. Yeah.
The guys that skating and stuff like that. And then I always wanted to play, you know, but I wouldn't, you know, sometimes you just, nah, just leave them alone, you know, just leave them alone. My cousin like, nah, come on, won't you come play, man? Show them what you got. Like, nah, I'm good. You know, so there was a few times that, you know, my cousin arranged with Nick for me to play. But then, you know, sometimes these DJs, they get a little funny. They don't want you on their stuff. They don't want you messing, you know, like certain thing, that little vibe. So I stay away, you know. So then when Carlos started playing, and he wasn't really playing, he was just with his computer and stuff like that, you know. And I was like, all right, let me see what, you know. I would play with his computer a little bit and throw some music on, some of his music that he had on, and he's like, wow, yo, you could play. And I, you know, he's like, yeah, he's like, yo, but you've been hanging out with us and you don't say nothing, you know. Wow, you could play. I was like, I know, it's just, you know, I don't like bothering nobody. I leave them alone, you know. So he was like, yo, why don't you come out and play sometime, you know. So there was one time I came out with my laptop. I came out with my laptop and I played, and it was just him. He was just there, and I played for after the skaters and stuff like that. Yeah. And I played. Wow, I loved it. They loved it because now I brought my music with me, you know?
Yeah. No. When I saw you last week or the week before, like the music you was playing, I was like, holy shit, I got to talk to this guy, man. I definitely got to make my, you know, and I'm glad you're doing this. I really appreciate it. But before I let you go, DJ Gungie, like if somebody wanted to get in contact with you, they want to know more about you, you got any social media links you want to promote, website, anything?
Yes, my Instagram page is Black Park Entertainment with a BLAQPARKENT.
Okay.
Black Park Entertainment. Right now, you know, I did last week. I did a float up on the parade. In the parade, I provided the music for a float there. Yeah, we've been doing certain things here and there. I got something going on up here because I live up in the Poconos. Right. And in fact, right before I started the podcast, I was talking to my partner over here because we just got the contract for a venue. We got a beautiful venue up here.
Oh, nice.
It's right. It's called off. We're gonna call it off the 305. Off the 305. That's done off I-80 coming up here on the Poconos. We're up in the Poconos. It's called off the 305. So we're setting everything up now.
Okay.
I'm about to do a flyer. I'm gonna post some flyers up on your if you allow me.
Yeah, no, definitely. I want, yeah, any DJ that I interview, I want them to promote on the Dancehousedance podcast.
Right.
Definitely, yeah. Okay. You're more than willing to do it. Yeah.
Great. So yeah, we're setting all this up now. We're about to kick off after the 4th of July. We're gonna kick off a grand opening. Right now, well, I'm a resident at Vogue, at the Vogue Club over here in Allentown. And Allentown, it's a cross-gender type of club, but they listen to house music and stuff like that. I've played up here, up in Rainbow Mountain, which is, you know, cross-gender also, and they listen to house music. So we're gonna bring that feel. We're gonna bring that house music up here.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna have a Latin night. There's gonna be a Latin night, but then we're also gonna have that Latin feel. We're gonna have Latin house, Afro house. We're gonna have that up here.
Yeah.
So like I said, we just got the keys. We just got the contract back, you know,
nice.
signed, ready to go. So we're ready to kick off. We're waiting for this weekend. I got a wedding to do. I got some private gigs to do. And then after the 4th of July, because everybody does their little barbecue thing and everything, you know.
Yeah.
Then we're gonna kick off and over here, you know, we're gonna kick something over here. But right now, for now, on every first Saturday of the month, I'm up in Allentown called the Vogue Club. It's called the Vogue Club.
Okay.
They do, you know, cross-gender shows and stuff like that. So that's what I'm doing now. But we also have this coming up. You can find me there. I'll be posting some stuff up on your the dance. What is it called?
Dancehousedance.
Dance. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be posting some stuff. So look out for me. I'm gonna say, well, my cousin was like, you need to get more involved. You need to get. I said, all right, no problem.
You should. You got great music, brother.
I started pushing more.
All
I started
right.
pushing a little bit more and stuff like that. You know, because I also help my son out because he's an artist. He's a rap artist.
Oh, okay.
He's with DJ Clue right now. We got a few contracts on the table. You know, I need to get a music lawyer.
Yeah.
So there's a lot going on, you know, in the music industry. He's done podcasts and stuff like that, you know, and they asked him, how do you get into the music? And he was like, my dad is a DJ. You know, I grew up into this music. You know, I grew up all into this.
Yeah.
So, you know, so. Yeah,
no, I'll definitely put all that information on the show notes. Well, anyway, DJ Gungie, thank you so much for being on Dancehousedance podcast. I really appreciate it. Yeah, no, my pleasure, man. Thank you, my brother.
Anytime.
All right, bye-bye.
Nice speaking with you. Bye.
Yeah, bye.